Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was going to talk on a different topic on my a thought for a Sunday. But then I got watching the SpaceX, which is now called Endeavour, the Dragon Endeavour. I'm heading towards the space station. And it had me think about how all these things begin. Now, this is also upset by the riots that are happening throughout the US. Being a Canadian, we watch this from afar, so we don't know the terror, but I cannot help think that a lot of the frustration is also because people have been in lockdown for so many months, and I felt the pressure, and I live very quietly and by myself a lot. So how do people feel when they are community minded and haven't been able to do that? Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate that it has erupted into violence and counter-violence and violence and counter-violence. But at the same point, here we are having two men going through space propelled by a person's dream of sending a rocket. I know that one of his goals is to head to the moon, but this is the first stage. So how do these things begin, and how do they come in our own lives? How do we create? We start off with a dream. We dream things. Like I dream up lots of things, and some of them do not come into fruition, and often many have. Sometimes we could say it's a desire. I have a desire to do something. So how do we turn those into goals? How do we make that happen? How do we have that manifest? And there's a couple of steps that go on. I think one is we really begin to hold the goal as a main thing. It isn't just a dream. It isn't just a desire. It is something that has emotion behind it. We really want to do this. We really want to achieve this. Now, what I find, and I was actually going to talk on this today, was the procrastination that happens around goals. So perhaps next Sunday we'll touch on that. But it's like often what happens, we start looking at the goal and it seems too big or too hard, rather than looking at, well, what's my first step I need to do, which is a principle I teach a lot about. What's the first step? What is the first thing you have to do? And not necessarily worry about the third or the fourth or the fifth step. Excuse me. You just go one by one through the direction of what you want to go and how it wants to work. But it's important to know that if you have a thought or a dream, a desire, that if you turn that into a goal, it is reachable. Sometimes I have reached for goals that I thought were impossible, and I just kept tempting to go forward in the direction I wanted to go in. Other times I have found that I have talked myself out of it. Over and over in my life, I have talked myself out of it. And I'm sure when we meet obstacles, and also friends that we have, and we say to them, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and they go, oh, yeah, right. Or they put us down. If you've ever been around any network marketing people, they call them the dream stealers, and they're correct. You need people that you can talk to that will support you in what you want to do, that will sit back and enjoy watching you create. There are so many people that have created things out of nothing. There are so many people that achieve miracles, it seems. But at the same point, what is that persistency? It's because there's a desire they have inside to have this goal that they want into fruition. And often they don't all come true. And often there is disappointment. But those of us that have succeeded in our lives, what do? We get up, we dust ourselves off, and we start again. May not be with the same dream, maybe another one, but nothing puts us down. We find the way of which we want. But I've also found that for me, I love the work I do. And there have been times in my life where things haven't gone very smoothly. And I have also health issues, unfortunately, which is probably when things didn't go very well. I have health issues sometimes. But then the desire to do my work, the desire to help and aid people to become more and know that spirit within themselves that is workable, has always brought me back into the focus of that. It's always brought me back to that end result and goal. I have been a person that's got involved in many different things. People used to come to me because they saw that I would create, and they would give, in the beginning, they would give me the ideas. I said, oh yeah, let's work together. Then I found I did all the work. And so I began to then give them things to do. And what I found was 90%, well, probably 99% of the people didn't do the chore that I gave them, which told me they wanted me to do it. And if you're going into partnership, you want it equal. You want people to work and work within that. So you do have dreams, you have desires, you have goals. The key is, how committed are you to having that become a reality, no matter what the circumstances, step by step. Just always remember that. And also remember that the universal love force, as I call it, or the source, or if you want to call it God or Muhammad or Buddha, it doesn't really matter. And there's loads of gurus too out there people call on. The name really doesn't matter. The essence behind it all is the same. We're all heading to that top of the mountain, you might say, where that energy, but that energy is there to support you to get to where you want to go. And so it's us we have to look at. It's us we have to look inside. Is our thinking working? Are we really believing? Are we allowing those naysayers or circumstances to go, oh, I don't know? I have sat back and watched some people. I had a break there because I was thinking, now that I'm older, I sit back and watch people create. And over the years, people have often come to me and said, like, how do I do that? How do I create a bookstore, which I did many years ago? And I tell them the pitfalls also, not just, oh yeah, you can do it, but also just be aware of this and this and this. I've had people come to me about, because I ran big trade shows, how did you do that? And so there's been a lot of sharing of my experiences at different times, which has been a wonderful. And plus, I keep learning, I keep understanding, and I have been given lots of opportunity to go and speak to people and share that knowledge that I have. I guess that's why I have white hair, but it's the years. And I am always so grateful that I am given that opportunity to be able to share what through pure experience often has taught me. And it's been wonderful to watch others, younger ones, coming up. And I remember thinking one time, you know what? It's time to step back and let the younger ones have a bigger, take over basically a lot of the work I was doing, because I was a forerunner, very often saying being psychic was natural, and did a lot of radio and TV about that. Anyway, what I wanted to really say today was just stay on your dream. Today, and trustingly, I'll be able to get to watch it. 2 men are being driven by a brand new way to the space station. That dream that was held, that there's 2 people wanting to have that, but it's like that dream of the rocket carrying them and having the rocket come back down and landing precisely where they wanted it to land. So, and like there was just so much miracles, and I was kind of holding my breath a little bit. I trust everything will go all right. So I know a lot of prayers were going out, and what are prayers? Thought forms of what you're wanting to create. So the dream of sending people directly again from the US to the space station will be actualized this afternoon. Maybe, yeah, I don't think it's yet. What I was just watching, it's not quite yet, but it will be actualized. It will come forward. And for those that are in turmoil through strife and grief, because many of us are grieving that we cannot live in a world of harmony where we accept each other as equals, no matter the color of the skin, no matter what belief or what culture or whatever it is, inside, we all bleed the same. Our bones break the same. Our hearts cry the same. We are just a beautiful, actually, I just thinking last night, we're a beautiful garden of people. I look out my window and I have all these beautiful flowers here, and they're all different colors. They're not just the same color. They're not just the same, you might say, root system, but they are beautiful. And if only we could all see the beauty in each person. Well, I didn't expect my talk to totally go that way, but I trust that you will enjoy your this Sunday. I just want to remind you that you can Always visit my site, normacowie.com, and find some of the information I've got there. Subscribe to the site here. I really appreciate you if you do that. And I'm going to call off because I'm umming and ahhing here, as I'm not very good at closing, and I have difficulty with closing, and I have nothing written down here because I spontaneously decided to use this topic today. But I just want you to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and just remember, no matter what, you are loved beyond measure. You just have to reach inside to that beautiful essence that we have inside and feel it and know it. So until next time, you just enjoy your life.